Because back then in the 90s, yeah, the teachers will bully you and call you aqua, yeah?
Oh my God, for
Yes,
real?
in the 90s. I walk around in life assuming everyone hates me.
The challenges that you faced when you became ambassadors of Pink Dot, did you see that coming?
It'll be
And maybe you can take us through that a little
to
bit.
say,
Yeah.
you don't know, man, this will
Yeah.
happen to you. I was prepared for you to hurt me. I was not prepared for you to hurt my family.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Sit Back with Sonia, where we completely overshare. And of course, today's episode is going to be really spicy. And at the end of it all, we're going to top it off with the drink that I'm going to create based on my guest's personality. So let's get started, shall we? Now, today's guest is gonna be super loud, super big personality, huge on YouTube, and personally, I'm very proud to say we were actually classmates, course mates at one point. Please welcome Hirzi!
How are you?
How are we so coordinated? What's going on?
I think that's the vibe. Like if
It's
you
the
are
vibe.
you are from the college that you are, the alum, you just know the sense of dressing.
Exactly.
Impeccable.
Many people may not know this,
Yes, I am.
but we are from the same university.
Yes.
And it was actually just not that long ago, like maybe 2-3 years back.
12 actually.
Yeah.
She
Can you not out us like this?
She
I
bluffed
was
with
trying
them
to-
all. She's a liar.
Stop. How have you been? I haven't seen you or caught up with you in
Since
ages.
graduation, right?
Since graduation, which was 2 years ago.
I've been okay. Like I think we're coming out of the pandemic proper now.
Yes.
Right, and we're navigating a lot of like new climate, new terrains.
Yeah.
9% GST, all this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
figuring things out as we discover them.
Yeah, figuring things out as well, because now that we were having this brief conversation about, hitting your 30s. And of course, Beyonce giving you a shout out. How crazy was that? Was that like one of your peak moments?
Okay, to be honest, I expected it. She basically extorted a kidney from me.
OMG.
For coming to the show, and I said, you know what, you better wish me a happy birthday. I actually came with a sign.
I saw that.
Flew from Singapore, it's my birthday. I bought the most expensive tickets
Just to do that.
just so she can see, this guy flew from Singapore, it's his birthday, and I was not going to put the sign down, and so until she wished me, I was gonna block her camera crews.
And you didn't block your vision at all?
No.
You didn't. How did you hold it up?
Very quickly, after
so
her
long.
second song, she emails, happy birthday!
Oh
Now I
my
can put it down
gosh.
already.
So I mean, many people know you as this huge personality, you're huge personality, fashionista now as well in the recent years. Wait, I just want to address this for a second. So
Why,
in the
ah?
recent years, I noticed you really went all out. You really embraced and developed this style, and you made the news with all your, was it a corkboard dress that I saw? Not corkboard, sorry, what was it?
Was it the fashion, the award show I
The
went with
award,
you?
not corkboard, sorry, what was it?
I basically attended the award show in furniture. So you're
did.
not that wrong. You're
You
not
did,
that wrong.
you
Did
did.
you know what happened actually?
What happened?
Because they set me right by the aisle where the cameras come in and out, where Bobby Tonelli is hosting. And at one point of time, his jib, the camera guy's jib just hit my thing. And I went, poof, and it didn't help that it goes, poof, it went knock onto the other actress next to me. And she was, "Woof."
With all your humor that we always see.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you develop it? Like, did you know, like, straight from the get-go, like, hell, I'm funny?
Personally, for me,
You think you're hilarious, right?
I'm the best.
I do it.
I've won awards for it, yeah. Actually, the funny thing is, as a kid, I was an introvert. What people don't realize is, in my day-to-day, I'm actually more an introvert than an extrovert.
Like, you're an
It's-
introverted extrovert.
It's hard to explain because you see the projection of who Hirzi is on social media. But growing up, I've had very big families, and everyone has like a roasty personality. And then my mom's side are Malaccan in heritage. So Malaccans, if you guys don't know, have very coarse sense of humor. It's like very rude and roasty. And so growing up, I'm so used to that as a culture that as kids, we get roasted as well. But I was never one of the kids who roast back. I never were one of the more iconic kids in my cousins. And it wasn't until secondary school when I joined the drama club and the stage sort of gave me this...
A chance.
A chance to realize I'm damn talented. But actually what it is was comedy sort of became a coping mechanism then. Because I was bullied a lot in school for being effeminate and soft. And so in secondary school, what I realized was when you steal the punchline from the bully, i.e. make fun of yourself first before he can finish the punchline, you sort of take the power from him and then you become the class favorite. So people started liking that I was able to make fun of myself. The problem then later became that I started using my strength as a weapon. So everybody in my way became in arm's length of the roasted version of Hirzi.
Oh, that's very complex, actually.
Yeah, but
Very
everybody found me funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny until I made fun of you though.
Yeah, no, exactly. So the self-deprecating humor, I mean, you make fun of yourself as a defense mechanism almost, in that sense.
Yeah.
But then, can you actually take a joke when people really come at you with a roast?
This is the thing. I've always said, like I will never come firsthand at introduction level with that energy. So I will always warm myself up and I will always be polite first. Anyone who's met me at first meetings will know that bit. It is when you come in with a jab that I say, oh, this is fun. And then my jab is a punch to it, and I don't realize the strength.
It's a blackout.
And some people will be like, whoa, I'm not prepared for that.
Yeah, I'm hurt, my feelings.
I'm like, but it's so funny to me. And I think it's a you problem now. Yeah, there's been me throughout the years navigating the dial of that. Like, when am I being unreasonably roasty or when I'm just being pure fun? I had to develop a relationship with my comedy. What used to save me became a weapon and then eventually saved me entirely.
What a process and a journey. I mean, at this point, I just want to get the audience to jump in on this as well with your paddles. Have you guys ever felt like you have been bullied? Yes, no. Green for yes, obviously. Oh, it's actually a lot of
bluff,
yeses.
white man.
Who do you feel bullied by? Do you feel personally attacked by Hirzi? No, I'm kidding. Look, it is an experience that a lot of us may feel at some point in our lives.
I think we don't appreciate our bullies enough, is what we're trying to say. So when you get bullied, ask yourself, which part of this is character building?
No, for sure. Actually, don't you think you would thank your bullies at some point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They form your career, you know?
Okay, at this point,
Yes, ma'am.
You've got some cards on your table over there.
Cool.
Okay, and what we're gonna do is we'll pick the cards up and we'll ask each other these questions and we gotta answer them in a split second.
A split second. No,
Yeah,
Okay.
don't even think, okay?
no loading, guys.
Yeah, so we'll start from the top. Why did you do that to Benson?
Who the fuck is Benson? Can I say this? Sorry,
Yes,
sorry.
you can. Your pants are too tight for?
Benson?
Your favorite thing to say to the Cai Fan auntie?
Who is Benson, auntie?
What just dropped from the sky?
Taifan?
Okay. Daddy called and says,
I want my Benson back.
oh, thank you.
That was fun.
I have no idea who Benson is, by the way. No clue.
This is your turn.
Yes.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
First thing to your mind. 3, 2, 1. You all to see 1,000,000?
Flies.
Aiyo, I laughed cry on the floor when?
Just now with Hirzi.
How do you ask for more?
I beg, borrow, steal.
What do you want?
Clarity in life. I don't know.
Last one.
Oh, last one not over yet.
I accidentally caught a toilet bowl because
Called the toilet bowl.
I clogged the toilet
clogged
bowl.
the toilet bowl. This is not a lie. I actually poop a lot for a small person.
Oh.
I'm sorry, overshare, TMI.
They're like, she poops. She poops, yeah.
Sometimes I don't know what the heck comes out of my mouth. Well, growing up and, during your childhood and all that, were you always this person? I mean, the person that you are today.
I've always been like the good kid.
Yeah.
And
Really?
I've always been the good kid.
No
so when I
way.
was in primary school, I've always gotten like awards.
Yeah.
And I was very academic. I think it came from the complex that I needed to be the best to my parents. And it comes also laid with the complex that I don't think I'm enough for my parents. It was only when I was in secondary school that I was allowed to express myself. Because when I was a kid, as young as 5, I remember being corrected about myself. So like even from the inflection of my voice, the way my hips would cock to the side, the way my wrists would fall soft, these things I was corrected at such a young age. So it drilled into me that I'm not good enough. So I had to compensate with academia. It was down to the point when I was bullied in primary school, even by teachers. Because back then in the 90s, the teachers would bully you and call you aqua, tell you first.
Oh my God, for
yes,
real?
in the 90s. And I would not be able to tell anyone about it. So it wasn't until I developed that comic power,
Yeah.
which I observe also from my uncles and my cousins. I'm like, oh, this is how you overcome adversity. Because they would get roasted for things that they were shortcomings with, you know, like my cousins would be a little bit of a larger body and she would get roasted for that. And I think it shaped it eventually to who I became when I joined Mescom and met Munah.
Yes!
Footnote!
Like literally, I was gonna get there and jump to the timeline where you met Munah. Most iconic duo. So describe your relationship with Munah. You know, when you first met, the connection, and even till now.
Munah nowadays is a total bitch. We don't ever talk anymore, and I can't stand her.
Because she's at the gym all the time now.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I do talk to her.
I'm
But she
kidding.
is at the gym all the time.
She is at the gym all the time.
We met iconically, metaphorically, at a ceremony in the orientation camp. What had happened was Mescom students don't go to orientation camp. Apparently it's lame. So
Oh my god, I went.
we are the lame, but you know what? We're the ones that end up in the industry, okay? So,
Yeah, that's true.
And so what had happened was the guys were the outer circle, the girls were the inner circle, and you were supposed to rotate partner after each dance. So then it was her. We had finished our rotation, and I said, "Hi, I'm Hirzi," and she was like, "Hi, Munah. Which course are you?" She said, "I'm from Mescom." I was like, "Oh my god, I'm from Mescom," because we finally met someone from Mescom. And then the announcement went, "Okay, whoever you're with, that's your partner for the rest of camp."
Oh.
And camp never stopped.
You're still in there
We're
mentally.
still going to life's camp.
Yes. You know, your friendship has developed, I'm sure, and grown. It was never your intention to be like an online personality or celebrity.
What was
it?
an online personality in 2006?
Yeah, we actually, honestly,
Nobody
I
knew.
would not have known.
Yeah, we didn't know where it was going to be. It was just a platform where you upload things because you thought you were funny that day, right? And you were just going to share it with your friends. Little did you know that things can go viral. We weren't even earning from it. For the longest 5-6 years of us being on YouTube, we weren't even earning. We were just doing it because we were obnoxious.
after you develop that fame, I would say fame, because you walk around, people recognize you 100% for sure. Do you think that has changed you?
If you ask me in my mid-20s, did fame change me? I hated it. I hated it so much, I had to escape Singapore every time.
Why? What was it about it that you hated?
I hated that I don't have a blind spot of who knew me, who had intentions, who had agendas with me. So like when I went on a date with a person, I hated it only to find out much later that, oh, you sort of want an in into the industry.
No.
And you feel used, you feel abused. And like even like with people from the business, because back then there was not, you don't even get to quote things. Sometimes they just try and use you and your platform. You really feel used. If you saw my schedule in my 20s, if I was not busy working, I was running away.
You know, when you go overseas, and do you tell them what you do back in your home country?
I don't.
Or you don't? So
I
what do you say?
don't.
Oh my
I
God,
don't.
do you come up with a fake occupation? Because I do overseas.
What is yours?
I used to say like, oh, I'm in PR publications.
Oh, same.
Yeah, or like, oh, I'm a stylist.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. No, it's believable. I would say I'm in the media, and then they're like, media, like what? And then they start getting suspicious.
Yeah.
Oh, I write. Am I lying? No, I do write,
true.
right?
It's true.
I have to write my name at some point when I fill out forms.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I write up.
Are you curious to know what are some of our audience members' perceptions of you?
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
I think Hirzi is my definition of slay. He's very fashion forward and witty.
Aiyo, so sweet.
Please show me your outfit today, please. Let's flex the outfit. Ooh. Yes, work. Of all days, right, I did not wear heels. Look, I'm so short compared to you today. One more. I've seen him collaborating with Munah and banking, and he's hilarious. Everyone thinks you're funny. Oh my God. Last but not least, Hirzi's commanding confidence and eccentricities is so inspiring. I love how much effort he puts into writing, his scripts for his skits, and how visually creative his sets are in his videos.
So sweet.
Honestly, so sweet. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. Are you pleasantly surprised, or did you expect it?
I honestly expected it. No, I'm kidding. I think it's very sweet that you guys wrote that. And this is a nice sample size of people who do appreciate my work. When you are an online personality, the truth is 80% of the energy that comes to you are hate. It was very punishing in my 20s when every day I step out, and I'm the kind who take public transport, okay?
Yeah.
Not having a blind spot to who I think hates me, I walk around in life assuming everyone hates me. It started getting to me. I started feeling like I started hating myself. Yeah.
So it rubbed off you, in a way.
it doesn't help that probably from long ago, I'm already carrying all this generational trauma of self-hate.
Yeah.
And then now that you're entrusted into the public eye, it just multiplies itself.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I mean, it isn't easy, especially at the time where you were one of like the OG YouTubers. No, for real. Like, and I say that in a good way. And probably you didn't have much support as well in the industry, right? We didn't know how to navigate it on our own. So you and Munah basically just had each other, would you say?
Yeah, it was hard to look up to an example, knock on a door and say, so what did you do?
Exactly.
Because we were always the first from our community to do things.
Yeah.
And it was truly painful to navigate that. But what I feel like if I could be sitting down and grateful for is that imagine doing that alone, I got to do it with my best friend. And that's why my friendship with her is like for life. Like in the afterlife, sometimes I pray like, oh God, wherever I go in the afterlife, let Munah be there.
What kind of meaning did you find in the content that you were creating with Munah?
I think what was groundbreaking at that point of time, very pivotal, we were just doing things that we stood up for because we knew of it. So it started pretty gradual. It started being like race-based conversations and then policy-based conversations. And it wasn't until midway through that 10-year tenure that I had with her where we were like, oh, we didn't even think about it much. We talked about, you know, the queer activism that transpired on our channel. That was when I realized the support that you've garnered all these years is nuanced. People have started to become fragmented about that. And that was when I realized, like, how did this get to this position? It's actually a beautiful story if I have time for.
We always have time for you, Hirzi.
So it was YouTube Fan Fest 2014, where we had a moment to our rooms and we sat down with the fans and we said, okay, let's open the floor for questions. And they started asking us, like the first few started asking us questions that truly made me think. One of them was this, at that point in time, she was a 12-year-old boy. She said, you know, I'm bullied in school and I'm going through these feelings. What do I do? And I remember at that point in time just being stunned.
You were shocked. Yeah.
Because the cameras were rolling.
Yes.
I had given a non-satisfactory answer for myself. I just felt like I said, oh, you need a good friend like Munah, find someone like that you can trust and go on. But like deep down inside, a young 5-year-old Hirzi wanted to like grab that kid by the hand and just go like, I know how you feel.
I got you, yeah.
I asked myself, why did these kids think that I'm responsible for answering these questions? These are heavy questions, and while I was angry, I was also conflicted with like insecure because I felt like, am I guilty for not giving them the answer that I wanted to give?
I'm sure at that point you realized also that your work went way beyond just these characters because they're looking at you as someone they can have an outlet to look up to.
That same year, I texted Munah. I said, Munah, when I come back next year from internship, let's do something for Pink Dot.
That's how it was born.
Not necessarily.
No, okay.
Munah and I thought our agents at that point of time were just going to rock up and say, oh, they want to do a performance. They might want to host the picnic. You all have picnic, right? Every year. Little did we know that the organizers had intentions to make us ambassadors. And that truly shifted my life 180. And I've experienced things in my life so deep and heavy that I look back now and I thank that window of my life.
So when you say it got really deep and heavy, the challenges that you faced when you became ambassadors of Pink Dot, did you see that coming? And maybe you can take us through that a little bit.
Say,
yeah.
You don't know, man, this will happen to you. The truth was, Munah and I at that point in time were already cancelled multiple times by conservatives. And it wasn't until I saw how much it affected my family that I was like, I was prepared for you to hurt me. I was not prepared for you to hurt my family. Because my dad had rocked up one of those weeks building up to Pink Dot and said, do you know what happened to your sister today? And I was like, no. So during Malay class, they were discussing good examples and good role models in school. And at one point, her teacher had decided to say, don't be like Munah and Hirzi, not knowing that she's my sister.
What?
And she couldn't want to go to Malay class after that. And that killed me until today.
She was just 14 then. So I haven't been able to reconcile a lot of things with my family. My sister and I like close when we were like, when she was a toddler, I was so close to her. So you know that scene in Frozen where Anna rocks up and says, do you want to build a snowman? And years go on. And because Elsa had a secret that she couldn't share because she thought her secret was dangerous, and she thought distance was what would save her relationship, that's when I just lost Sister Brother Island. And until today, I hold that heavy. I feel so responsible for her. And that spiraled me into a darker window of my life up till 2016. And Munah too had to go through her own challenges. Yeah. She wasn't there on the day of Pink Dot itself, but what people didn't know was she was behind backstage with me. Like some of her friends asked, why didn't you want to ever share this out then? And I said, because at the point of time, my ego thought it was not important for the kids who were brown and queer to see that it was 5 steps forward, 10 steps back. I needed them to see that it's 5 steps forward, 5 steps forward.
Yeah. How did you pull yourself out from that?
I didn't. The problem was I layered it with overcompensating ego. So I said, I need to show that I'm successful. So that year we did 10,001 things. But the truth was deep down inside I was crumbling. And I, many times, assumed that the easiest, most painless thing is to exit this life. And that everyone would be at peace, especially me, because I wanted to find that peace. So my mind struggled back and forth from 2015 to 2016. I'm so sorry to wrong girls, but like at that point in time, when I see a hijabi person, I'm immediately going to assume conservative, she hates me. I look away, I look down, I shut down. And that was what I truly went through for that year and a half. You know, when you leave this world, you leave also the body. I cannot afford to have my family witness a gruesome way of me leaving it, right? And then I heard a story from a friend, and she said, why travel insurance is so important? Because her grandfather and her family had booked a trip to Japan, did not get travel insurance. The grandfather had a cardiac arrest, passed away in the mountains of Japan, that they had to bury his body in Japan. And little did they know, from this simple conversation, struck an aha moment in my head, and I said, oh, that's perfect.
No.
You know, like, I've always loved traveling. I've always had to escape from traveling up to that point. So then I embarked on this long month-and-a-half journey of doing a bucket list and then not knowing when I decide when it is going to be. So I was a little bit strategic with the plan for it. I had bought a month-and-a-half long trip in 2016 in Europe. This incident was what made me, I want to say, open up to a spiritual awakening. I remember the first country I left London for to do this bucket list trip was Tromsø, Norway. I wanted to see the Northern Lights. In the hotel lobby, the first question they asked you, would you like to book your expedition for the Northern Lights? And so I was like, oh, really? You have to, like, can't I just go out and see? It's like, oh, no, you got to go really up there.
You got to trek.
The Northern Hemisphere to get close to where the particles are strongest. I was like, oh, okay. Where would you like to book it? So I booked on the last day. Stupid, right? not knowing that you book can be still don't see.
Right.
So on the first day, I came back to the hotel lobby after my little thing in town. People were like talking in the hotel lobby and they were like, oh man, we didn't get to see it today. We didn't get to see it. I was like, huh? Simi scam is this? You buy expedition, you still cannot see it. So on the second day, same thing. People were complaining that they don't see it. So there's a website to check. And this is the most poetic part of this story. So the website would tell you whether or not there's a high chance of seeing the Northern Lights. So the first 2 days says low chance. And the third day that I was going to go, which is the next day, I checked the website. I was like, God, like, really, God, like, come on. And the thing said, try today. It was the most poetic thing on a website. It says, try today. So then I sat back on my bed and I was like, this is either some divine thing you're about to show me, or it's a really cruel joke. Because this is a boy who's about to go. All he asks of you is to show him the spectacle that you have. So in the bars, I remember just sitting down, I was so quiet, and I had like a deep conversation with God, just saying, please show me. Just show me. If it's the last thing I see, it'll be enough. Eventually, at some point, the walkie-talkie from the guide went on and says, ladies and gentlemen, we have sought a sighting of the Northern Lights. We're going to park our bus and we're going to catch it. So the clouds were like sparse on two sides. Where the lake was, right in the middle was where the opening was. And you see this dry brush stroke of white in the sky. It's like a cloud almost, but it's like a dry brush stroke. And it says, you see that stroke? Yeah, that's not a cloud. That's the Northern Lights. Singapore boys see me scam. Is this expedition? So with the human eye, when the particle's not strong enough, we usually see it as white. Oh. But when I take it with my camera, you will see that it reflects green immediately.
I didn't know this. I thought I would see green straight up, or
if
whatever
the particles
color.
are strong,
Yeah.
you will see it in the color.
I see.
So then I was like, the only way he's going to be proven right is if every time I take a photo, he shows me it's green. So everywhere he moved, I was the first person in line.
Like, it better not be an existing photo that you already have.
To get a photo. And he shows me each time, and I saw it was like a highlighter in the sky. I was like, and I remember seeing it, and I sat down after that, I was like, okay, I guess I've seen the Northern Lights. And then he gets another call on his talkie, and he says, ladies and gentlemen, nearer to the Finnish border, we've got a report of a sighting of stronger activities there. So we're going to go. So we went up this bus, we rocked down another 45 minutes to the Finnish border, and you look up in the sky and it's white. But this time, the white lights were like moving fast.
What?
Clouds don't move that fast. It was cosmic. It was like, oh, I get goosebumps every time I say this part. And it was moving so fast. I was like, oh my God, I see, this is the Northern Lights. It's not bluff, it's not bluff. We took pictures and he reflected it back and it was green. So I was like, wow, that's freaking cool. So then when that was done, I was like just full of joy. I got photo off for Instagram. Yeah. I grabbed the cocoa from the bottom of the bus and then I sat back and then I just warmed my heart with it. I sat with gratitude. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Thank you for letting me see that. And then all of a sudden, I had screams from the bottom of the bus.
Oh my gosh.
I looked down and they were all looking up and I looked up, the sky was green and pink, Sonia.
What?
It was dancing so freaking fast in the sky and I started screaming to the rest of the bus. I was like, it's green and pink, it's green and pink! We ran down and for the longest 20 minutes, I stared into the sky screaming, dance for me, dance for me! In this euphoria of crying and joy. And then we rocked up to the bus after all that was over. And then of course, on our way back, I had to have my gratitude conversation with him, right? He just showed, like no Beyonce show was like that. He just performed for me for 20 minutes. And so I held my heart and I said, you're trying to tell me something? What are you trying to tell me? And like, I get this thing I call downloads of wisdom. And very quickly I receive it. And I said, when I first showed you a little, you thought that was it and you were happy, you were satisfied, you thought you were done. And I showed you more. And I showed you more. And the lesson in that was, even on your deathbed, you wouldn't have seen it all. So why cut yourself short from your experiences? Experience the Northern Lights in full. Choose your life. Fast forward to the end of the trip. There were moments I was about to, but I managed to get to London the last day on the flight to Singapore. And I was crying so bad on the last day. My friend didn't understand what was going on. So why are you crying? You're just going back to Singapore after a holiday.
No one knew.
And I was crying so bad because I was afraid now that I've chosen to live, I better make something out of it. Which embarked a timeline of 2017 up to the pandemic. If you ever saw Hirzi, he was doing anything and everything. He was doing too much. He was angry. He was wanting to be perfect because he was afraid to embarrass himself for choosing to live. And that was my 2017 to 2019. And it wasn't until 2020 when the pandemic hit. And the pandemic did two things to me. Someone said in my pandemic, he said, what this pandemic made you realize is it's placed the mirror in front of you. The question to ask yourself is,
why so uncomfortable? And the truth was, I've always ran away. At a young age, I wasn't able to confide who my bullies were. I built up a skin. Everything was just layered
The
and
walls
complex.
were up. Yeah.
And so, 2020 onwards, I embraced this spiritual journey on full, where the message in short, I'm not going to tell you the story because I'm still going through it, but the message in short is, the divine said, I'm glad you chose life, but now I want you to choose life kindly. And so that's been a big shift in the last 5 years for me.
Hirzi, thank you. Thank you so much. I was speechless most of the time because I never expected you to come through with such a story, you know? And that was so beautifully said. You clearly have done so much introspection, reflection, and till this day, like right now, I can feel that energy and that light from you. And I think you should really be so proud of yourself for being here today and for sharing this story, because that story is about to help a lot of people out there. We've got some questions coming in from the audience right now that I would love to ask you and see how comfortable you are ready to answer this, okay? For someone who doesn't enjoy or agree with societal norms, how do you navigate through life alone?
I don't think I disagree with societal norms. I think I'm very nuanced and centrist in a lot of my politics. A lot of times, I believe the best policies are bridged when conversations are had. On the opposite camp versus echo chambers, okay? Let me clear that first. But how do I navigate being an oddball, I guess is the question, it took me 15 years since turning 20 to accept life, to choose life. And so I want you to every day realize all we are penning stories for ourselves. We are just we chose these avatars of our, like I chose Hirzi. And then ask yourself, did I level up from last year? So what I do is, what I do is every year, I break it out into 4 seasons. Season 1 is January to March. Season 2 is April to June, July to September, October to December. Why 3 months? Is because it's Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. Then you chart your hero's journey and ask, oh my God, that season was about this. So when you go through a heartbreak, you're like, oh my God, what a good movie. You want to watch a boy movie, man?
Okay, next question. I want to hear from both Sonia and Hirzi about experiences they faced that caused them to be less confident, and how, if they have, become more confident.
I have no answer. Okay.
If you don't, I mean, maybe just tips on how to be confident.
Good point. Where I'm at now is actively, in any situation with my life, choosing to consult back with myself and my inner child. On heavy decisions, I will always go back to me. If I am a 5-year-old version of me going through this now, and I'm outside this body and I observe this kid like I'm the parent, talk to yourself in those difficult moments like you are the parent of yourself. And that helps me these days.
Thank you so much for answering those questions. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the final bit of this episode. My favorite portion, where I create a drink based on your personality. Oh boy, this is gonna be a complex drink, I have to say. Okay, I'm gonna go back there now.
Okay.
Is there anything that you completely stay away from?
I think I stay away from pork.
Now, I'm gonna start with a little something on the bottom here. Coconut water.
Because I'm Malay.
Why? Why?
Coconut, Malay, no?
Coconut water for hydration. Okay, for all the times that we've been thirsty, this is for us. I'm gonna move on to a little touch of a juice here. So I haven't exactly used juices very much in my previous episodes, but today you really served up the juice. So I'm gonna put a little bit of cranberry juice.
Why cranberry? Because I like to let it linger.
No! I like that. Okay, just a splash. I don't know how this is going to taste like. I feel that we should put some ginger ale in.
You are correct.
Yes,
you are
that's
very correct.
Yeah.
Ginger ale is my favorite thing to drink because I don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
So I will
Do
always
you really?
order. Yeah, I will always order ginger ale.
I did not know that. This does not look good, man. Olives and lychees, I'm going to put lychees in.
Please.
Okay, I'm going to put lychees in.
Olive.
Because you are juicy.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to put that in. Well, I don't mean to, well, it does look a little sus, but I think it's quite pretty other than that.
I love it.
Cheers, darling. Thank you for
the
being
invite
here.
and the conversations.
Thank you so much. Let's have a sip and... I'm sorry. Do you taste anything? Why are the lychees in your nose?
This one is like, you know, sometimes Hari Raya, right?
Oh, shoot.
And then your auntie running out of the FNN, so they just pour water.
Dilute.
It's like, put extra ice.
Hey, but to be fair, aesthetically, it looks very cute.
It's damn cute.
Hirzi, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being here today. I really enjoyed the conversations. Audience, thank you so much for being here as well. If you liked this episode, you enjoyed it, please share it with all your friends. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y things that you need to do. And Hirzi, please come back again very soon, okay? Come again. All right. Thank you. I love you. Why you scary? No, very fierce.
OOT to go, loot to go, I OOT to go because what? Hey, be careful! I flushed and the thing kept raising up.
Oh my God,
and
you
raising up. And I panicked, right? So I closed the lid. Okay?
Please don't injure yourself. Oh, he's so pro.